Today's topic's going to be fairly controversial. People are going to be wondering, why the hell would I take the money that I'm getting paid by YouTube and give it back to YouTube? Well, the reason being is that if you do it correctly, you can actually take the money you're making from YouTube and multiply it by putting it back into the advertising casino, so to speak. And since you're already creating content, you're walking into a casino where you've stacked all the cards in your favor, and you're guaranteed to win pretty much every bet that you put on the table. All you have to do is be willing to put the bet down. Today, I'm going to show you how to multiply your YouTube earnings by using paid ads. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. I got a nice little presentation lined up for you today. We'll try to get through it as quickly as possible, but I want to make sure you have all the information you need to make a decision after this whether or not this sort of strategy is for you. And it should be for you as long as you like making money. As you can see, I'm the Monetization Man, and I help content creators monetize their audience to the fullest. I make videos like these teaching them how to monetize their audience in all kinds of different ways that just aren't talked about up until this point. So let's get started, shall we? So on today's agenda is first we're going to talk about what warm audiences are in regards to content creators. We're going to talk about retargeting ads. We're going to talk about something called competitor combat ads. We're going to go over some ROI scenarios, like what you can expect by putting your money back into ads and what you can expect to get out of that. We're going to talk about offers. Obviously, you need something to sell in the ads, or otherwise you can't make money. Then we're going to go over some tips and tricks. And finally, I'll give you an action plan at the end on what steps to actually take if you want to move forward with this strategy. And no, it doesn't require a course or anything paid afterwards other than paying for your ads. So what's the opportunity, right? Content creators have a huge advantage over big brands when it comes to paid advertising. And this is because content creators are building massive warm audiences that they can advertise to at a very high rate of return. But currently, most content creators are not utilizing paid advertising. And this training is going to teach you how to get ahead of the curve and into the game of paid ads so that you can get into it before your competition does. By tapping into your warm audiences, you'll be able to multiply the amount you earn from the platforms by running paid ads, which is the whole concept of today's video. So what is a warm audience? Simply put, a warm audience is anyone and everyone who has watched one of your videos, interacted with any of your posts, or that in general has consumed your content in some way. These people, depending on how much content they have consumed, already know, like, and trust you on some level in comparison to a cold audience that doesn't know you at all. And for the sake of this presentation, warm audiences are also known as retargeting audiences. So the first thing we're going to dive into are retargeting ads, which are how you advertise to your warm audiences. What are retargeting ads? I'm sure you've browsed a website, then gone to Instagram and gotten an ad that tells you to come back and get whatever you were looking at on that website. That is a retargeting ad. Retargeting ads are the most lucrative ad type because they're served to warm audiences and generally are always profitable as long as they are set up correctly in the first place. For every dollar you put into retargeting ads, you can realistically see at least $4 back and sometimes much more depending on your offer price. If you have a really high ticket product, I've seen return on ad spend be upwards of $20, $30 in retargeting campaigns with high ticket products. So what are some retargeting audiences that are available to content creators? Well, you're organically building a huge warm audiences in multiple different ways. You have your video view audiences, you have your post and profile engagement audiences, which are the people that actually like go to your profile, whether they watch a video or not. You have your website and links page traffic audiences, so people that go to your website or go to your links page, as long as you have pixels on those assets, then you're able to retarget those people as well. And then you also just have your follower and subscriber audiences, so anybody that's followed you or subscribes to you on YouTube, you can target those people specifically with ads. All you need to do is push the buttons correctly in the back end to make that happen, which is extremely easy and doesn't take any work on an ongoing basis, really, besides checking in here and there whether or not it's working for you. So from there, the retargeting process, what does that look like, right? Step one is a new user interacts with your content in some way. Imagine your audience as a web of influence of sorts. Every time someone consumes your content, they enter your web of influence, and retargeting ads are designed to keep them in your web of influence until they're influenced enough to buy from you. Basically, once you get them in, they're sticky, they're watching multiple videos of yours, they begin to know, like, and trust you on a higher level, and by the time that they fully know, like, and trust you, they're willing to buy something from you, right? So that's the first step. Second step is the pixels add each user to your audiences. So like you have to put a Meta pixel, TikTok pixel, Reddit pixel, a Google Ads tag, all these different little pixels and tags and codes on your website or your links page, which honestly is extremely easy again, because a lot of times it's just clicking a button and it'll automatically integrate with these sorts of things. And once you set it up, you never have to do it again, right? But each ad platform has its own pixel that you need to add to your website and links page to collect data off of those social media platforms. But any data that's collected on the platform does not require a pixel to be installed. So any video view audiences or people that like your posts, any action that happens on the social media platforms doesn't require a pixel. So you do have massive retargeting audiences already just sitting there, even if you don't have any pixels installed on any of your assets online. And then lastly, you have step 3, ads are served to each new user. Once you have the pixels installed or you have your retargeting audiences set up, you're able to set up ads within the ad platforms that target those users specifically. And you would basically set up some basic ads within the ad platforms that get shown to anybody that comes into your web of influence. So if they watch a video, they start getting retargeting ads that are meant for people that are just starting to know, like, and trust you. If they've clicked over to your website, they're at a higher level of the funnel, and you can start serving them ads with call to actions and putting offers in front of them and such. But we'll get into that in a little bit. You likely already have all the content you need to create a retargeting ads campaign, but you certainly have the creativity to create any ads that you may need if you don't already have the content that can fit the building blocks that you'll need to create a decent retargeting campaign. And honestly, even if you use a really crappy ad, you'll still probably make money with retargeting ads just based on the fact of who the audience is that you're targeting. These are people that are already in the looking zone. They know, like, and trust you. They're part of your core demographic, what have you. Everything's set up for you to be able to spend $1 and make more than $2 back every time with retargeting ads, even if you don't have the best ad creatives. From there, I'm just going to quickly go over a concept that I like to call sequential retargeting. And this is a little bit more advanced, but this gives you an idea of what retargeting can be. Retargeting is basically a virtual sales process. You could put people through a series of ads that runs them through all the different things they need to be ran through to be able to check off all the boxes they need to check off in their head to be able to make a buying decision, right? And sequential retargeting allows you to do that. It's basically like you're following them around online and you're answering their questions as they come up. You're cushioning their objections. You're establishing credibility. You're doing all these different things that you need to do to get somebody to buy from you, right? So this is typically how I like to do it. For the first 3 days or so, I like to just introduce the offer and the features, advantages, and benefits of the offer that I'm trying to promote to them. That way they know all the different reasons why they should buy the offer. And then the next few days, I'll show them the post-purchase experience, whether that's like UGC that's showing what people experience right after they purchase the product or the service or whatever offer I'm putting in front of them. And if I don't have like clear post-purchase UGC, then I'll just use testimonials and stuff like that that give a good idea of what the post-purchase experience is like, because people want to know when they hit the buy button what's going to happen, right? So you might show unboxing of a product, you might show a person that's talking about how they loved the fact that you included a teddy bear in your packaging. Like, what the hell? It doesn't matter what it is, but you want to give people an idea of what that post-purchase experience is like. So from there, the next week or so, I'll just slam them with social proof. Like, you want to show them that a lot of people that look like them and talk like them and act like them and do the same things as them each day like the product or offer that you're putting in front of them, and that will give them all the proof that they need that you're legit as well and establish your credibility as an authority, all that good stuff. From there, the next 2 weeks, I like to focus on just objection handling, what questions that people have. You basically go through your FAQs and you build ads around those to make sure that people are organically answering the questions that they have in their head, that they're not necessarily asking your support team before they buy, right? You have to get that stuff out there in front of them, and you can do that with ads, retargeting ads specifically. After the first 30 days of this sequence are up, for the next couple months, I'll just mix all of my winning ads and content together and just serve it to those people that are in that audience of people that haven't re-interacted in 30 to 90 days. So on that note, the way this works is like if somebody interacts in days 8 through 14, or let's say they interact on day 10. If they click over to my website on day 10, they'll get reset back to day 1 in the sequence. And it's basically a buy or die sequence in that sense, right? So people have to go through this entire sequence not engaging to fall out of it. And then you set some things up in the back end where if somebody clicks on your website 5 times, it takes them out of the audience completely, and you put that in a separate retargeting audience. That way you're kind of filtering out people that are just resetting themselves over and over and over. But anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Lastly, from day 90 on, so after 3 months, I'll just do education and reactivation. So that's just essentially serving them organic content from then forwards. Like, these people are the people that you want to stay in front of. You want to keep showing your face. You want to, get them interested in you again the next time that they're in the looking zone for an offer like you have. These people, again, are better people to put your content in front of than just brand new people that don't know anything about you, at least in a paid ads environment. In an organic content environment, it's completely flip-flopped. You want to get in front of as many new people as possible with your organic content while also hitting your warm audience. But when it comes to paid ads, especially in this context where you're building such huge warm audiences, you can tap into them, and you should, as much as humanly possible. And that's what this sort of sequential retargeting campaign allows you to do. From there, we're going to talk about competitor combat ads, which are how you steal your competition's audience and traffic legally. So what are competitor combat ads? They have been used in Google search advertising for years. Essentially, you can serve ads to people who are searching for specific business names. So, like, let's just say you sell sales training, right? You could potentially advertise your offer over top of like a Grant Cardone keyword or Cardone Enterprises, what have you. Somebody else with sales training that's your competition, you could literally advertise on their keywords and serve ads to the people that are searching for your competitors. It gives you a chance to basically steal their customers by presenting a benefit of your offer that's better than their offer. With YouTube, these sorts of ads have become way more powerful. You can now run your ads over top of your competitors' videos and also serve ads to anyone who's visited your competitor's website. And if you're wondering how you can do that as far as your competitor's website traffic, it's simply because everybody uses Chrome a lot. Like, it's the most used web browser, I believe. I might be wrong about that. But all that data of people visiting different websites from Google Chrome, you're able to target anybody that visits your competition's website using Google Chrome. And that's why YouTube ads has that connectivity, is because it's in the Google ecosystem, right? And running ads over top of your competition's videos is how YouTube ads has always been set up. You can just literally choose their channel in the back end and run ads over top of all their videos, or you can pick specific videos to run your ads over top of. The reason why you want to run these ads in the first place is because the people searching for your competition are in the looking zone, and you can get them to convert with you rather than your competitor during this critical time. And again, you really just have to present some sort of benefit of your offer that's better than their offer for your competitor's customers to then switch from wanting to work with your competitor to working with you instead. So I got a little ahead of myself, but this is how you can legally steal your competition's traffic. You can advertise on your competitor's videos. You can target competitor keywords. You can target the competitor's website URL, and you could even scrape their follower subscriber audience and re-add that as a custom audience and target it that way. That's a little bit more gray hat, so to speak, and much more advanced than something that's out of the scope of this video, but I just wanted to mention it because it is something that you can do. Now, your audience size is going to determine how much you can spend. If you're making $5,000 a month from the YouTube Partner Program, you're likely building big enough retargeting audiences to be able to spend that entire $5,000 a month on strictly retargeting ads. But to keep a long story short, whenever you hit a ceiling with your retargeting ads, then you want to put the rest of your budget into competitor combat campaigns. And once both of those are exhausted, that's when you would want to finally start advertising to cold audiences. There's no reason to advertise to cold audiences until you've pretty much completely exhausted your warm audiences. Now let's do some quick math. Let's say you're a content creator that's currently making $10K a month between YouTube and TikTok, and you decide to spend that $10K you're making on retargeting ads to multiply your earnings. You spend 75% of your budget on retargeting ads and get a 4x ROAS from it. Then you spend 25% of your budget on competitor combat ads and get a 2.5x ROAS. So basically, you'd spend $7,500 on retargeting ads, which would net you $30,000 back. And then you would spend $2,500 on competitor combat ads at a 2.5x ROAS, and it would net you 6,250 back. So if you take the 36,250 that you made altogether and subtract the 10,000, which is what you would have made if you didn't do this. So now in this scenario, you would be making $26,250 more. Remember, and this is very important to remember, you would have that full 36,250 back in your pocket at this point. It's not like you lose the 10 grand that you spent on ads. You get that back and then some. So long story short, you made 26K more than you would have without running ads. From my experience, honestly, you would be hard pressed to take 10K and not make 20K back based on how big your retargeting audiences are as a content creator and the fact that you aren't tapping into them already in some way, shape, or form. But there's also going to be a lot of people that are able to take 10K and turn it into 50, 100K because of the offer that they have and the fact that it's high ticket, what have you. But again, you would be very hard pressed to not be able to take $1 and turn it into $2 by tapping into your warm audiences. So this is a very, very safe bet. Now, the numbers scale as you grow your audience and influence. Obviously, like as you make more money from the platforms, you're able to spend more money on the paid ads. But also, since you're getting paid more by the platforms, your audience is growing, your influence is growing, your traffic numbers are growing. As those numbers scale, that's when you're able to spend more and more into the warm audiences. But if you stay at a plateau for a long period of time, you'll hit a ceiling on how much you're able to spend per day, per week, per month on ads to your warm audiences. So you may be thinking, I don't have anything to sell, but you can sell affiliate offers. You can promote affiliate offers that pay high commissions. You want to look for offers that are highly related to the type of content you make, obviously. You could build your own digital product. If you have some sort of proprietary knowledge, you can package it into a digital product, whether it be a course, a boot camp, a masterclass, anything like that. You can start a paid community. People pay for access when it comes to content creators. So if you're willing to provide them with more access, you can build a paid community around that. And then lastly, you could sell your retargeting audiences to big brands. You could leverage your retargeting audiences in your brand deals by allowing the brands you partner with to whitelist your accounts and access your audiences. There's a lot of creators that are whitelisting their accounts to big brands, but not a lot of them are leveraging their retargeting audiences in their actual brand deal negotiations. Your offers should be focused on building what are called your owned audiences. Like if you have 1 million followers on a social media platform, you don't own that audience. So you want to build audiences off of the platforms that you do in fact own. You want to focus on building audiences that aren't controlled by those social media platforms by using platforms like Discord, School, Circle, what have you. And also by building email and text message lists. Email lists being the most important. And on a side note, don't just promote an affiliate offer that doesn't provide you with the information of the people that buy. Like if you're promoting Notion, for example, and somebody buys through your Notion link, you're not going to get that buyer's name and email out of that. So you're not going to be able to track who on your email list bought those third-party affiliate offers, right? So you want to find an affiliate program that does provide you with the information of the people that buy. And these are usually the more lucrative affiliate programs anyway. But long story short, you want to build up your buyers list over time because it will become your most lucrative owned audience, your buyers list as a whole. An email list of 1,000 buyers is way more powerful than a list of 100,000 free leads and way more lucrative as well. Finally, let's get into some tips and tricks. You can speed up your growth by running cold ads. You likely have a bunch of content already on hand that you know has worked for you in the past to turn views into cash with whatever you offer. So you can and should use this content to run cold ads in order to speed up your follower growth and also to grow your retargeting audiences faster. Obviously, as you spend into cold ads, the more and more people into the people that are engaging with your content, they're watching your videos, blah, 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 and then you can retarget more people that way. Your goal is to get as many people into your web of influence as possible by any means necessary, whether that be with your organic content, paid ads, partnerships, what have you. Another thing you can do that's a very low-hanging fruit is running a brand campaign on Google. What I mean by that is running a campaign that targets keywords like, for me, it would be like Monetization Man, monetizationman.com, Monetization Man reviews, any keyword that your audience searches when they're looking for you specifically, and only you. You can run ads on these keywords to direct people to where you want them to go rather than just letting them go through the search results that are already organically there. And these ads are generally extremely low cost and highly profitable, and I understand that the reason why they're highly profitable is because it's typically the last line of defense before they convert anyway, and they would have converted through an organic ranking. Fine and dandy. Debate me all you want whether or not this is something that is a good place to put your money. It absolutely is. When you spend $1, you can expect to make $5, $10, $20 back every single time. So why wouldn't you put your money there? And YouTube and Google Ads isn't the only platform to use for your retargeting ads. You can and should set up pixels and start collecting retargeting audiences with Meta ads, TikTok ads, Reddit ads, Twitter ads, Pinterest ads, LinkedIn ads, and even a platform called AdRoll, which allows you to advertise across 99% of the websites that are on the internet at this point that have ad banners on them. The more platforms you're collecting retargeting audiences on, the better, and the more platforms that you're running retargeting audiences on, the better, because it'll give you an omnipresence. Even if most of your following is on YouTube, you're able to then advertise to them when they go to Facebook or they go to Instagram or what have you. And this is extremely powerful if you want to start cross promoting different platforms as well. Like, that's one big thing that retargeting can do for creators that people don't really do in general, is like, if you set up your retargeting audiences on a platform before you get over there, right? Like, let's say you set up a Twitter pixel a few months before you actually launch on Twitter, you'll have a good retargeting audience built up by that point, and then by the time that you launch on Twitter, you could run a retargeting ad specifically to people that have interacted with you on other platforms or on your website, what have you, and get people to quickly follow you on Twitter as well, that already know, like, and trust you and engage with your content elsewhere. And that can give you a nice little boost in the algorithm by bringing your people in right away and giving the algorithm good signals as to who your people are. Lastly, here's your step-by-step action plan. If you want to get started with retargeting, this is what you would do. Step 1, you set up your ad accounts and retargeting pixels as soon as possible. I would start with setting up retargeting audiences on Google, YouTube, Meta, and TikTok at the very least. For pretty much any content creator, even if you're not on all those platforms, just get those pixels set up and in place and start collecting the data that you've worked so hard for. Step 2, you're going to prepare your offers for paid ads. You want to make sure your funnel is working without paid ads before you start running paid ads. Like, if you're making a bunch of videos and you're pushing traffic to your offer and it's not converting, it's not likely that paid ads are going to make it convert. Step 3, you want to start with retargeting ads, competitor combat ads, and brand ads. When set up right, these options print money effortlessly and require very little ongoing maintenance. I'm talking 1 or 2 hours a month worth of maintenance once you set it all up. And then lastly, step 4, you scale up with cold ads whenever you feel comfortable doing so. Your goal should be to only ever run cold ads with house money you make from your warm ads first. So all of the profits you make from your retargeting ads, you can take that and parlay it into cold ads, and it comes to a point where you're literally just printing money. And all you have to do is keep making organic content on the front end and growing gigantic retargeting audiences and continue scaling your retargeting ads up as your audience scales up on the organic side. But that's about it. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. And if you want to learn more about this stuff, go ahead and grab my YouTube ads guide for free in the description. It'll teach you everything you need to know about YouTube ads so you can get started with that at least and start going down the rabbit hole of paid ads. Other than that, follow me for more monetization tips like this and have a great rest of your day.